What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Barking for Balance, the podcast where we talk about dogs, but we also talk about whatever it is that's meant to teach, inspire, and entertain. I am Pat the Packman, dog behavior and rehabilitation specialist at Packman to the Rescue, Canine Solutions and Coaching. And what do we do here? We train people, not dogs. Why? Because it's about training people, not training dogs. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And you're going to have a kick-ass time on this podcast platform. We talk about dogs, inspirational stories. We talk about basically whatever. I have crazy stuff. I speak Sicilian, parliamo siciliano, and it's all fun, and we're going to have a great time. And today I want to discuss a little bit about believing when you're not seeing something happening for you. And that pertains, as always, everything is about life, but it's also about dogs. And this particular topic goes hand in hand for both of those. So, like I said, it's about teaching, inspiring, entertaining, and that's why we're here. So that's one of the things I want to discuss today because it's very important with people, with my clients, even with myself when I was going through the initial stages of learning this and rehabilitating my dog Socks. But I find that this is a very important subject that needs to be addressed because people tend to want to see before they believe, as opposed to believing, in order to see. And that's really the way it is. But before we kick this off, as always, listen, if you have not subscribed to this podcast, come on, guys. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to the podcast. You don't want to miss out. You want to subscribe on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, or Amazon. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because there you could see cool videos, but also you could see the podcast there. You could see this good looking face. If you want to watch and listen, or if you just want to listen, then you go on the other platforms. But make sure you subscribe to all these platforms along with follow us, guys. You want to keep track of all the cool stuff we got going on. A lot of cool stuff going on. In fact, another announcement, which I'm going to be making in a second. We're going to talk about, I want you to subscribe to the Facebook and also on Instagram. And that is Packman to the Rescue, Packman to the Rescue. That's for Instagram and So you keep track and, stay up to date on all the cool stuff we got going on around here. You know what I'm saying? Tutte cose sono belle, sono belli cose. It's really cool stuff happening. And what is one of the cool stuff that's happening? Oh, I am so honored and privileged and blessed to announce. I already had made this announcement, but now it's officially official. I don't know if that's a word. I am proud to announce that my book, my autobiography, God Spelled Backwards, is officially done, printed, for sale, available. I will be including some links for you guys in the description. So this way you guys can purchase it, and you better purchase it because, come on, you're going to subscribe to the podcast. You're going to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're going to follow us on those social media platforms, and you're going to buy the book. Let me tell you something. This book it's my baby. And I wanted to, kind of tie this in with what I was going to discuss when it came to, not seeing in order to believe, but believe in order to see. And this book is one of those areas because I've been working on this thing since 2016. And there was times when, I had my doubts as to whether or not this was going to, come to a conclusion. I thought it was going to come to a conclusion, but not in a good way. But instead, God said, nope, we're going to take care of this. And if you're wondering about the title, God Spelled Backwards, I know that it's, I think there's actually other books I was told that are called that. Apparently it wasn't a problem to call my book the same way, which was cool because I really, really, really had my heart set on calling it that. Originally, the purpose of the book is basically, like I said, it's my autobiography. It's my entire life story. From when I was born to basically how I became this. And the purpose of it is really I wanted to inspire people who basically were struggling, or are struggling, like me, to find something, whether it's career related, and in the book case, it's career related, obviously, but you could translate this into anything else just to keep you, in with that faith and patience mentality. Because if you've listened to this podcast before, that's really what I talk about a lot is, faith and patience. and how I came to, become the Packman and become a dog behavior and rehabilitation specialist. And faith and patience were crucial. And it's not just crucial in that area, but it's crucial, was, is, and always will be crucial in every area of my life. So when it came time to make this to finally find my purpose in life, my calling, what I was made for, what God created me to do, um, it was tough because obviously, it was so many setbacks and so many obstacles. And listen, it's easy to have faith when things are good. It's easy to trust and believe when you see things progressing, when you see things happening. Everybody's, it's easy to have faith like that. It's easy to believe, that things are working when when things are good, or when you're seeing the results. But when you're not seeing any results, um, you know, it's tough, and you have to maintain that faith, and you also have to maintain that patience. So when it came time to me writing this book, the original title of the book was "Gotta Have Faith and Patience," which is my mantra. It's what I live by. But also, I realized that it was a little too long. I didn't feel like there was just, it was conveying the full message and whatever. So I decided to rename the book just Faith and Patience. But I felt it was just not conveying the message, and it just really didn't showcase what I really wanted to showcase in the book. And I really wanted God and dog to be in the title, but nothing was happening. So the title of the book basically stayed as "Gotta Have Faith and Patience." And right before I was about to send it in for publishing, and we were, I'm sorry, now during the publishing process, when I really had to, finalize the decision, I was editing it, I was reviewing it, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of the book, there's a one of the last paragraphs of the book. There's a line that I say in there, which is, I should have known all along that God, was going to make me work with dog, because after all, God spelled backwards is dog. And so all of a sudden, just God came down and says, "Yo, come on, that's our title. Como fanioka." And there we go. And that was our title. So as soon as that hit me, it was like the feeling inside was just boom. That's the one. Changed it, never looked back. And that's the title. And that's really fulfills exactly what I wanted this book to be, because at the end of the day, the purpose of this book is really, like I said, it's to teach, not in this particular case to teach about dogs, but it's to teach about life, to teach about faith and patience, and to really inspire people. It's obviously entertaining. There's a lot of entertaining stuff in there, funny stuff, crazy stuff. And, it's my life. My whole life is in that book. And it was really hard, not hard. I'm sorry. It was really exciting. That's the better word. It was really exciting when I first opened up the box and I held that book in my hand for the first time, before I had to approve it, the final version of it. And I held, that book in my hand. I was like, wow, not only is my whole life in my hands right now, but also the whole world is going to know my whole life. You know what I mean? And that was like really, really, shocking, because there's stuff in there that really, um, you know, very few people know. And there's stuff in there that basically nobody knows. So it was a little difficult, but we'll get into more details about the book itself and the topics and, the content of the book as we go along. But I urge you to buy this book, guys. Listen, you got to buy the book. You gotta buy the book. You're going to love it. It's really cool. I'm really proud of it. I'm really, for those guys that don't, that know me or don't know me, I'm very hard on myself. I'm never, ever happy. But this is the crowning achievement. You know what I'm saying? This is cool. This is really fulfilling the purpose as to why I do this and I work with people. Is because at the end of the day, that's really the driving force into dog behavior, to make sure that dogs are happy, fulfilled, and well behaved, not well trained. Is you're well trained humans, well trained dog owners, not well trained dogs. None of that. Well trained humans, well trained dog owners to understand what dogs need, and this way we can make our dogs happy, fulfilled, and well behaved. That's the goal. Dogs that are happy, fulfilled, and well behaved don't need to be trained. You know what I'm saying? They're fulfilled. But the book really helps on the people side, because I find that that's one of the weaknesses, if not the weakness, when it comes to people either giving up or not following through. And the book is like basically my way of learning, an additional way of me learning what it is that I had to that I had to do, but also what God wanted me to do with clients and with people going forward is to keep them strong, motivated, inspired, even when things are tough, is to continue to fight, is to continue to press forward, is to continue to believe. Oftentimes I work with people that just don't get the results that they want to get, or that they want to see in the timeline, that they want to see it. And unfortunately, that is really why dogs go, it's the ending of dogs. It's because, we don't get what we want in the timeline that we want it. And we throw in the towel and just give it up and throw it away. And hence faith and patience. You got to believe that you're going to get the end result. You got to be patient until it's the right time. And when is the right time? When it's the right time. You know what I'm saying? So, before you get to that success, there's always going to be like a season of silence. There's always going to be a period of time where you're not going to see any results. And people that I work with are in that position. I've been doing a lot of virtual training classes, training sessions. And the reason why I really, really love our training program, our virtual training program much, and I think it's much more effective than our in-person program, is because, when I, when I walk into a home, I handle the dog, right? So people, see how the dog will behave with me. But the problem is that if the dog owners don't learn how to be the same way and do the same things, then they're not going to get the results, which automatically is going to demoralize them, because they're trying to compare themselves to me. And that's not good. That's not realistic, because you can't compare yourself to somebody who trained himself to be a certain way and to do things a certain way and busted his ass to get there. If you want to get to that point, then you got to look at backtrack this and look at what happened and how things went to get me there, and other people do the same thing. Those people that actually do know how to handle the dogs, that's great. But if you can't get this dog in the hands of the people that know how to do the same things that you can and be the same way, then you're not going to get the results. Then you resort to like the tools, you resort to the shock collars, you resort to the prong collars, you resort to the medication, you resort to all these methodologies, some of these rough, aggressive, nasty, forms of training. And again, that's the word training in that particular case, to make a dog comply and do the stuff that you want them to do, when in reality, if you understand that your mindset is really the key to get your dog to actually do the stuff, you don't need tools. You don't need quote unquote train your dog. You need to earn your dog's trust and respect. But in order to do that, you have to give your dog trust and respect. And dog training does not do that. What we do is we have to understand the psychology of the dog. We have to understand, dog language. Those are the things that we have to understand more than anything else. So when we get to that point, dogs are dogs. Humans are humans. The brain of a dog is different. You've heard me say this a million times. The brain of a dog is different than the brain of a human, so we can't relate to them the same way. Okay. Also, communications. They're different things. The way the dog communicates, the way a human communicates is different. So we have to learn to communicate their language. We have to understand what they're communicating back. And oftentimes that's not done because, we look at the shortcuts. We look at reading a book. You read the book and that's what, if the tail is this way and the ears are this way, listen, there's more to it than just, understanding if an ear is pointing at a 45-degree angle on the left corner going to the southwest region on the fourth Tuesday of the month. That stuff is not the whole picture. Some of it, sure, but it's more to that. Because then people will start looking at the ears. Well, hold on a second. Well, the ear is supposed to be, well, hold on. Let me get my ruler. Is it supposed to be like this? Well, but wait. No, today's the third Tuesday of the month. Well, it just becomes confusing. The brain is overthinking. And if you understand, and if you've been following this podcast, and if you're one of my clients, if you know about dogs, being calm and relaxed, calm body, relaxed mind, reverse that. Sogno un pochettino paituto, calm mind, relaxed body, or it could be both. Mix it up. Who cares? But calm and relaxed is really the foundation. If you're thinking and overthinking and strategizing, and you're not calm, you're just so forward. This is a forward. The dog's looking at you like you're nuts because you're overanalyzing. Your dog's not feeding off of calmness. Your dog is feeding off of franticness. Your dog is feeding off of craziness, of overwhelming, these overwhelming feelings, these stress feelings, these tense feelings, and he's going to respond based on that. Make sense? Make up ish. Oh, so the key to this whole picture is calm mind. So, when we're learning how to, to be with our dogs, and when it came time for like me working with this book, this was one of the things that I had to really revamp and relearn, to just be patient. I wanted it done. Sure. Once the book was done, I had to learn to be patient again with what? The editing component. I did the editing. That took a couple of years for me to edit the book. Why? Because I wanted it to be the way I wanted it to be, and I took my time with it. But at some point it was just very frustrating. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, okay. You know what? Then don't do it. That was what the conversation I would have with myself. I'm doing this for a reason. Don't complain. You're doing this for a reason. If you don't want it to be perfect, just send it in. Just send it in and be done with it. But that would have not been happy, and I would have been pissed off. E poi stravagantiava. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to work. Now we backtrack this and we fast forward this. Now the editing phase is over. Now the publishing part of it. And that was a whole that was a whole other process. The content evaluation and the this and that. Oh, it was all over the place. But at the end of the day, it was part of the process to get to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, like I said, before you get to the success, before you get to that finish line, there's going to be a period of silence where nothing's happening, or it's just difficult times. But that's where, a lot of people tend to give up. They're working with your dog. You have a strategy, a proper strategy. Proper strategy. Because if you have ridiculous crap that you're following, all the treats and the sit, stay, lay down, you're not going to get the results. But if you have the right strategy, that stuff takes time until you get to that point where you are mentally in the right state and your dog is also in the same state as you. And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, things happen, because when you're doing the right things, when you're doing the stuff that's proper behind the scenes, things are changing. You may not even recognize it. You may not even see it, but things are changing, in your mind, you get frustrated, you get annoyed, and all you see and all you're saying is, listen, I'm doing it, but nothing's improving. And I hear this all the time from people, all the time. Listen, I'm doing exactly what you say, but nothing's happening. Right. And then we'll have our conversation. This is like within a period of a week, for example. We have our session. Things are great. I'm coaching them, whether it's in person or virtually. Things are great. Oh my God, that was great. I can't believe that worked. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, wonderful. And then a week later, we have another session. It's like, well, Pat, I'm doing what we said. I'm doing what we did last time, but it's not working. And the question I ask him is, listen, why was it working when I was telling you what to do, but now it's not working anymore? That means you're doing something wrong, right? So don't blame the dog. It's something you're not doing, or you're not doing properly, or it's going to take you some time to get to the point where you could do something without effort, without thinking about it. Right now, you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing, you're too stiff, you're frustrated, whatever the case may be, you're not doing what should have been done. Otherwise, why was it the result being done just a week before and now it's not? So is it the process that's not working, or is it the fact that we're just haven't gotten to the point where you know how to do whatever it is that you need to do perfectly yet? And I say that again, perfectly yet, right? Because that's the key. If you stay with that mindset, I don't know how to do it perfectly yet. If you eliminate that word and you just keep it, I don't know how to do it perfectly, you're going to get demoralized. You're going to get upset. You're going to get frustrated, right? If you know what you need to do, right, then all you have to do is just keep on pressing, keep on pushing, and if you have an end result in mind, you got to see the end result. I had a vision during this period, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, I'm getting old, but I've been working on this book since 2016. Okay. When I first started this book, I had a vision in my mind of what I wanted this book to be. And I wanted it to be an autobiography, right? So I hired a ghostwriter, and the ghostwriter, I would tell him stuff and he would put it on paper. That was really basically the relationship. And then after a couple of months, he had to move on to other things. So I basically took over the whole project by myself. And it was cool because at the end of the day, this was my baby and I did everything 100% by myself at this point, including the topic of the book. So I'm a big fan of the show Arrow, or the early seasons of the show Arrow. But I'm a big fan of the show Arrow. In fact, I have the bow. I'm an archer. I use archery as one of my relaxing and calming tools. Which I discussed this on a previous podcast episode, but I have the bow from the Arrow seasons. So anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so the premise of this, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm a big fan of the show Arrow, and for those of you guys that haven't seen the Arrow, the early seasons, the first couple of seasons, was basically where the guy, his name is Oliver, he came back from an island, and he would, to make a very long story short, really cool show, you should watch it. But anyway, he would, I told you, this is Barking for Balance, guys, that we talk about everything. We talk about all sorts of stuff. By the way, did you subscribe yet? Subscribe. Amazon, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, YouTube, Packman to the rescue on Facebook and Instagram. And by the way, buy the book, God Spelled Backwards. Make sure it's from the Packman. God Spelled Backwards. It's from the Packman. Make sure it's that one. Don't buy the other ones. Who cares about those? From the Packman. It's on Amazon. There's a bunch of other the other versions are going to come out soon. The hard copy, the ebook is available on all different platforms, including Barnes and Noble. And also, if you want, all three versions are available on the publishing site, which is lulu.com. Again, just put in God Spelled Backwards there, and you'll find it. Otherwise, it's on Amazon, it's on Barnes and Noble. Buy the book. Me siento, no me siento. Anyway, so getting back to the show Arrow. So the premise of Arrow is, he's in the present moment, he's doing his thing, whatever. And then he has flashback. It's a superhero TV show, in case you don't know, but he basically has flashbacks throughout the show of his past life and basically how he came to become the hero that's known as the Green Arrow. So again, at the time, it was my favorite. It was one of my favorite shows, and I was really into it. So I had this vision. Again, is it a vision or is it God? I think we know which it is, right? So God sent this message down, and I was like, wow, that would be such a cool thing, because on top of the fact that I really felt that having dogs in here, and I think the ghostwriter actually mentioned this as well, that if we had dogs as one of the subjects, people would be more into it. So that's what I decided that I wanted this book to be. I want it to be a day in the life. So it's basically me going on a case. It's a present moment. I'm going with this client. I'm working with this client and this dog and whatever. And then there's flashback to my past and how my life began, how I got to this point, and so on and so forth. And that's the basic premise of the book, right? That's how it happened. See, pieces. It starts off in one thing, completely becomes something different. Originally, I wanted it just to be an autobiography, just Pat, just me, no dogs involved. But the format of it came out to be really cool. I was also able to make 13 chapters out of it, which is 1 and 3 are my lucky number. So I really wanted to try to get 13 chapters in. But anyway, I'll get to more specifics of that. Buy the book, God Spelled Backwards, by the Packman. Come on, buy the book. You'd love it. I'm telling you, this book is going to blow you away. I'm going to make a movie about this book. You hear what I'm saying? Who should play me as an actor? Let's discuss that. Seriously, when they make a movie out of this book, who should play the Pac-Man? I want to hear some suggestions. I want to hear who you think would be a good actor to portray me. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting. So, and I really do believe that this book could make a really good movie, by the way, but that's just me. So anyway, so they're behind the scenes, things are changing, things are happening. And I know that sometimes it's hard, and, you think you're doing the right things, but nothing's happening. Well, got news for you. If you are doing the right things, it's going to take some time. If you're not doing the right things, it's going to take some time for you to be able to do the right things. So either way, it's going to take some time for you to get the result. See, so makes sense, right? So either way, you just got to continue to plug along and push and push and push. And then all of a sudden you'll just see wow, oh my God, that's really what happened to me when it came to socks. It's how could I put this? When I was working with socks, So, and I talk about this on multiple podcast episodes, and I get a little emotional when that's why I kind of like get a little stuttery, because that was my moment of, not seeing what I wanted to see. And at that point also, I stopped believing it too, um, when I was working with socks, I wasn't getting the results, and I was doing everything that I thought was proper. Right. So, but if I'm not getting the results, sul risultato non c'è, che cosa non va, right? Something is not working. Something's wrong. So as much as I believed I was doing everything right from a technique standpoint, right? I knew I was doing everything right from a technique standpoint, but my emotions were off. My energy was off. I was frustrated, angry, annoyed, scared. It's all sorts of crap. And that's why I wasn't getting his trust and respect. That was the problem. And so, at that point, I was getting very discouraged, and I basically gave up. Right. And I know I gave up because I was actually on the phone with the shelter, getting ready to return him, making arrangements to return him, until God did his thing, and bam, he showcased what needed to be showcased. And that was a testing phase. And I want to discuss that part at some point in a different podcast episode. But, I got discouraged. I got discouraged. I got upset. I wasn't getting the results, and I gave up. I threw in the towel. And thank God, what happened brought things back on track. And all of a sudden, I became the Packman. I became a dog behavior rehabilitation specialist because of Socks, my pit bull. And a lot of people are in that position. They get discouraged and they give up and they stop fighting. I'm urging you, continue to fight. Continue to fight. I just was talking to a client earlier who has a dog who's, being aggressive towards the family. And I tell them the same thing. And we talk about this, during our follow-up sessions, and they get discouraged, and then they start asking people. And that's another thing that you have to stop doing. Stop asking people for their opinion, because people are going to give you their opinion based on what they feel or what they think. And all of a sudden now that becomes a problem in your head. This is on a previous podcast. I think it was the podcast from last week where I discussed this. You need to tell people to shut up. Because they're going to contaminate your mind, and those doubters and those can-doers are going to suck the energy and the motivation right out of you. Manda la fare in culo. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessary. You need to push them aside. You don't need to ask their opinions, because now they're, oh, well, you should put them down. Oh, well, if that was me, I would get rid of them. And now these people call me and they're in tears. I'm like, what the hell? So now I got to pump them up, because, hey, that's what the Pac-Man does. He brings people, he lifts those people up. And at that point, at the end of the session, what the response was? We're going to keep fighting. And I'm like, you're damn right we're going to keep fighting, because I'm fighting right with you. I'm believing what you're believing in. I'm right by your side. People are not fighting with you. They're fighting against you. Get rid of those, And so the problem is that it's easy to get discouraged when you're not getting the results. And the point of this whole thing was, when I discussed this situation, I said, well, let me be honest. Let be honest with me. We talked about like just 2 areas. Are you doing it? No. Okay. What about this other area? No. Well, see, there's a reason. So it's not that it's not working. It's that you're not doing the things necessary to get it to work. And of course, there's external circumstances, or there's, life takes place. I get it. So I'm not upset about the fact that that's the situation, but I am upset about the fact that you're putting the blame on the fact that it's not working and you're not getting the results. Well, guess what? You can't lose weight if you don't do the stuff necessary to lose weight. So listen, you could do the trick-or-treater crap. You could do the treats, and you could do the sit, stay, lay down. It won't fix the problem. That specific problem, especially. It won't work. So you have to do the stuff that's necessary and change your mindset and stay strong. Continue to fight. Continue to press forward. That's why I want you to buy God Spelled Backwards and read this book, because that book will kick you in the ass and show you exactly what fighting is all about. Okay? If you continue to do that, if you continue to press forward, if you continue to fight, if you continue to have faith, if you continue to be patient, all of a sudden, you'll eventually see exactly what it was that was going on behind the scenes that got you exactly what it was that you wanted in the first place. Listen, I used to be afraid of dogs till I was 28 years old. Okay. And I overcame my fears simply because, guess what? I got divorced. That's what happened. The worst period of my life at that point brought in one of the biggest gifts of my life now. Does that make sense? I didn't understand it. It was a necessary, this is in the book as well. It was a necessary step to take in my path of life. It was necessary. Without it, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Nowhere. Right? So it was a necessary step. And that necessary step, c'era bisogno perché c'era bisogno. God knew, he knew why it was necessary. He knew what he needed to do. And this was what he chose. This was what he needed to do. And that experience was also a growing phase for me, on a personal level, because it brought me as a person to a whole other level. Forget about the dog fear and stuff. This just woke me up. I became a different person from that. Okay. So, those challenges, that step, that miserable situation I was so, distraught from, was a blessing. Without that, this wouldn't have happened, And so that's the bottom line. It's needed. The obstacles sometimes seem to be slow to disappear. The obstacles may not even be gone, but those obstacles oftentimes are needed to change us, right? To make us stronger, to make us patient, to make us whatever, that's really what's necessary. So when it comes to, making your dog or teaching your dog what you want him to do, or rehabilitating the stuff that you don't want him to do and getting him on the right path, it may seem like it's a challenge. And sometimes it is, because it's like, well, the obstacle that the thing that you need, again, which is to make you stronger, to make you more patient, to make you more understanding, to make you more whatever it is, that's really necessary to get you to that point. So that obstacle can't be gone yet. It doesn't, if it disappears, you're not going to get to where you need to get. Megabish, it's not going to get there. So unfortunately, we need that obstacle. That obstacle needs to stay until we get to the point that we need to get to. It's that simple, right? Once you get to that point and you achieve that goal, you get to that finish line, obstacle's gone because you accomplished the goal. You achieved the goal, And a lot of times it's to learn how to focus on not training your dog, but changing your mindset, treating your dog like a dog, understanding what your dog needs, wants, and desires from you as a dog. If you don't learn that, most people, that takes time for them to get to that point, whether, listen, everybody's busy, everybody's got stuff going on, everybody's got problems, whatever. I get it. But it should not impact what you're doing, at least from a motivational standpoint, because that's really the excuses. It's, I'm too busy, I don't have the time, I'm dead, blah, blah, blah. If you don't have the time, that you're not going to get the results. If you don't put in the effort, you're not going to get the results, whatever it is, and I'm not saying it's got to change your life. Oh my God, I got to give up my life. No, but you got to put in some kind of effort. Otherwise, don't get into it. You know what I mean? Don't get involved. Life is about balance. Barking for balance. See where it is? It's about balance. That's the preaching that I do is not just relating to dogs, about balance, about giving them rewards, giving them work, giving them rules. Everything is about balance. You got to balance those three out for a dog to be happy, fulfilled, and well-behaved. But on the same token, it's about our balance too. We have to have balance in our lives. So, for me personally, when it comes to my dogs balance me out because they allow me to kind of get out of my own way and doing the stuff that otherwise becomes overwhelming. If I focus too much on like work, I got to do work, I got to do the podcast, I got the bookmark and the social media, and there's no balance because my entire life is based on work. My dogs take that away from me. And then I balance it out, going to the gym, archery. I have a balance, my family life, you balance everything out. So now you're living a balanced life. And guess what? Balance is the key, guys. Me estás entiendo? Balance is the key. You want to be happy, you want to be fulfilled, you want to be successful, then you have to be balanced. You have to live a life of balance. And that balance needs to be in all different areas of your life, the relationship, your financial situation, your spiritual life, your business life, your personal life, your physical life, whatever, your health life. Everything has to be in proportion. You got to be happy, fulfilled, and successful in all those different areas. Because I got news for you. Being successful does not mean one area only. Being happy does not mean in one area only. Because think about it. If you could be happy as a pig in shit, como un porco na merda, that's the Italian version of pig in shit, by the way, you could be rich as hell, but your relationship is garbage. you're not happy in that area. So you got to like balance it out by working in that area. Me capiche? Your financial life is good. You're good with that. You're happy, fulfilled, and successful. Great. God bless you. But now let's focus on this other area. And that's what it is when it comes to dogs. We have to make sure that we make them happy, fulfilled, and well-behaved. And to do that, we got to focus on the work. We got to focus on the rules, and we've got to focus on the rewards. If you don't use all three, you don't balance it out, you don't do the right things, you ain't going to get the results. So it's not about seeing in order to believe. It's about believing in order to see. And people will tell me this all the time. Well, when my dog behaves, then I'll be calm. Well, then you're going to be waiting for quite a while. Yeah, wait, and we'll see what happens with that. Sure. We'll see. You know, it won't work. It will not work. There's one of my favorite movies, especially one of my favorite Christmas movies, which is a Santa Claus. That line that's the first time I heard it. It was in that movies when the kid actually says it, or one of the elves says it. You know, seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole point, is you got to believe in order to see. And when it came the final, step for me to accomplish my goal, and achieve it, for the obstacles to be gone, I was still believing in the obstacles, those obstacles to get the crowning achievement of having the book God Spelled Backwards done and over with and completed, were officially gone, because they made me stronger. They make me more patient. They make me more committed, more disciplined. It's so much stuff that I grew from just that alone. And then you're never too late. You could always grow, and you should always grow and improve. You know what I'm saying? Challenge yourself. And this is really what it is. It's their challenges. Just like when dogs come into our lives, the ones that are a little bit more difficult, those are the ones that challenge us to improve our dog knowledge, to improve our dog skills. They give us a PhD in dog. That's the way it works, So the book really was one of my tools to teach me and to take me to the next level, to improve my skills in other areas too, but there was so much throughout the last 5 years. Yes, 2016, it was 5 years, and it was a journey. It was a journey, very emotional. I'm remembering stuff throughout this time, and I'm putting this, and some of it was cool, some of it was tough and hard to put on paper, but it's very therapeutic. That's the one thing I could tell you, was a very therapeutic. I came to a lot of realizations, a lot of, conclusions, very therapeutic, there was a lot of mental, psychological releases, forgiveness, and just all sorts of just cool stuff that took place from it for myself personally. So I really wanted to be able to share that. I really want to share that. So buy the book, God Spelled Backwards. Check it out on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and Lulu.com. It's really cool. But yeah, I know I'm bragging about it, but you know what? It is cool. I'm saying it really is. You're gonna get a kick out. If you don't, then what the hell's wrong with you? And also, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. Google, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Packman to the rescue. Facebook and Instagram. Listen, guys, this was fun. I hope you guys really get something out of this. I really want you to believe in order to see, and not see in order to believe. Your dogs need that. Your dogs deserve that from you. Remember that if they're not doing what it is that you want them to do, or be the way you want them to be, then you're not doing something, or you're not doing something right. Or take some time. You know what I mean? Take some time, which again is patience. Just be patient with yourself, with your dog. Continue to press, continue to fight. Do not give up. And if you need assistance, I'm here. Contact Pat the Packman. I'm here, guys. And I mean that seriously. I'm here to support you, to guide you, and to give you the tools, the knowledge, the skill set, and the motivation to get the job done. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's about training people, not training dogs. Remember that. It's about training people, not training dogs. So that's just how it works. Okay. And listen, I can't say anything else after that. That's it. Finio, te saluto, caio che fare, agnide su che finio vatio. That's really, I can't end it better than that. Okay. So listen, guys, make sure you read the book. Make sure you buy the book. God Spelled Backwards. There's an ebook version as well on all different platforms. Google God Spelled Backwards, and make sure you Google God Spelled Backwards Packman if you want to find it on all the different platforms. This will narrow it down for you, and you'll make sure that you get the Packman. I'm the Packman, guys. I'm the Packman. You know what I'm saying? So listen, actually, you know what? I'm going to show you what the book looks like. Where is it here? If you're on YouTube, see, another reason. That's why you got to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or if you're on YouTube, hey, here it is. Here's the cover. God spelled backwards right there. That's what you want to look for. God spelled backwards. I'll include the links to Amazon and Lulu, and there's the back cover. Come on, how cool is that? How cool is this? Come on now. That's cool. I'm so excited. Who can you tell I'm excited? But whatever. I'm always excited when it comes to, dog stuff. This is my calling, guys. So I want you to know you do have resources. You do have support. You know what I mean? It's not just about teaching the dog stuff. This is about motivating you, not just in dog related stuff. If you're struggling in whatever area, we could get that done. You know what I mean? I'm here for you guys. I'm here for dog owners. I'm here for dog lovers, for animal lovers, for people that really want to grow and improve. That's what I'm here for. That's why God brought me down. I've had people that have done that for me. I'm here to do it for you. That's the name of the game. It's about training people, not training dogs. Listen, I could be on here all day talking about it, talking with you guys about it, because you guys are cool. You guys are awesome. And the fact that you're listening to this, the fact that, you are looking to learn, that shows the kind of character you guys are all about. That shows who you are. That shows what you want. And I respect that. I respect that. I respect you because you may have gotten some knowledge and you may have gotten some help from those that did not help you for nothing. And here you are looking to get better, not giving up, continuing to fight because you know that there's a way to get it done. You know there's a way to get it done. You just don't know it yet. Well, guess what? I'm here to help you. And the virtual program is going to help because we could get anywhere around the world and still get the job done just exactly if I was in your house. Our virtual program is just as effective, if not more effective, than our in-person program. So wherever you live in the world, guys, contact the Packman. I could help you guys. I could help you. I want to help you. You hear me? I want to inspire you. I want to teach you. I want to entertain. Oh, I love this. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching Barking for Balance. Thank you so much for supporting me, for inspiring me, for teaching me, for entertaining me. Thank you guys. We have accomplished a lot. We're going to accomplish more. Make sure you know I'm here. I got your back. I'm here for you guys. I got your back. Thank you for watching this episode of Barking for Balance. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.